not just in this series, but in the season, has been so extraordinary. And I want to start with this. Christmas Day, when we talked to you about a compressed season, I know there were concerns. But do you now think that the compressed season actually had a role in sort of the surge of interest in the NBA?
Well, I certainly think that the fans that came up to me and said, my God, there are games every night. This is wonderful, regardless of the impact on the players. The fans were feeling well served. But I think the combination of the compression, the Christmas Day 5 games, and social media have combined to make this a much better season than we had reason to hope that it would be.
We know leagues like to follow up on those things. So how do you do that again? I mean, people talked about a shorter season. They talked about all sorts of things. What do you do to follow up as an encore?
I think one of the things you look at is not necessarily shortening the season, because we do have some issues like buildings built to host 41 games, exhibitions, and the like, but maybe raise the question of whether it should be compressed. But I don't know the answer to that. I don't know.
Sort of on the other end of the spectrum, this week you found yourself in a little bit of hot water about this whole notion of conspiracy and the lottery. This is not the first time you've heard it, certainly not the first time you and I have talked about it. But what do you make of it, David, that there seems to be, I mean, there's a pretty good role you got yourself in there.
So I guess what I would say is it makes for good copy, it makes for good questions, and, bring it on, because I've been at this now for, I think someone told me this is my 29th finals. I thought it was 28, but I lost count. And, it happens, but I think the people that know the NBA and know me know that we don't take our responsibilities lightly, and we do everything to make sure that not only do we do it with integrity, but that we do it with transparency.
But there have been some times where this concerns you more, I think, than it does now. I mean, when perception becomes reality, how much do you still worry about that?
I think you do everything you can, and then you roll with it. When the lottery takes place, you invite all the teams who are participating to send a representative. You invite 4 members of the media in. You have Ernst & Young, one of the largest accounting firms, certify the process, and then you let it go.
That's it. We're not expecting any changes, nothing to sort of address the hysteria.
There's not much that makes sense. We look at it every year. We look at it. It's too delicious. If you want to go on YouTube, you could see the 1984 lottery, where I supposedly had the frozen. The frozen card or something like that, and it's all too delightful, really, because ESPN, that magazine, which is the Bible of something, unless you read Sports Illustrated, had it. There it was again this week over controversies, but they concluded that we got a clean bill of health.
One of the guys who was the subject of that conspiracy talk, Patrick Ewing, is of course a member of the Dream Team. 20th anniversary of it. Sat and watched the other night the NBA TV treatment of that. What is it about the Dream Team now? It has got, this lasting impact on the culture. What is standing out to you about it?
Well, actually, there were a couple of things. Number one, it was the first, and it was the first time that NBA players were in the Olympics, and that was a big deal. Number two, it was an all Hall of Fame NBA team, and how often do you think that would happen? To me, there's only one Dream Team. That was the Dream Team. And number three, it was our attempt to accept the world's invitation to let the world get better. And I from that, I think, come all of the international players that have graced our league who grew up watching the Dream Team members. When you think about Yao Ming and Dirk Nowitzki and Ginobili and Parker and Stoller and you name it, we have 80 international players, and the game has been. This interview might possibly be carried in 215 countries in 47 languages, 46 of which you and I don't speak.
You have not gotten pushback internationally for still sending professional players to the Olympics, but it seems like you're getting a little pushback domestically. How does that play, and do you take it seriously?
No, the pushback for me is a situation that I've suddenly come to say, look, it's been 20 years. Whatever we set out to achieve, which was to show the world of basketball, which invited us in, against a vote that the U.S. and Russia voted not to have NBA players in. Okay, so we said we'll do whatever you want to do. But now it's 20 years. We are in 215 countries. Maybe soccer has a model we should consider, which is at the Olympics, they do 23 and under. My own sort of situation, my personal view is the pressure that builds up on our players, especially our international players. I had the Prime Minister of Lithuania call me to ask me to help him get Zydrunas Ilgauskas, who had lots of physical problems, to please pay. They were going to pass an act of parliament to fund his insurance. Okay, so Dirk Nowitzki, Ginobili, I mean, they just play because that's their tradition. I'd like to relieve them of that obligation by saying, you will go once, we'll go till you're 23. Or maybe if it's your first year, you can go 19 and 23, and that's it.
Let me close by asking you this. You joke about this being a 29th final. You joke about years now, but those of us who have been around bugging you with this question for a while are wondering, is there a 30th NBA Finals in your future? Any announcements you want to make? How serious are you when you joke like that?
I have no announcements to make. I love my job. I come in every day having a ball, and the owners will be the first ones to know. Not the television audience. In all deference, they haven't been fielding my salary for the last 30 years and beyond. By the way,
indirectly,
I joined. That's true. I joined the NBA in 1978 as general counsel. And I worked at a law firm for 12 years before that. So I've spent my entire adult life failing to meet the standards, but I'm determined to keep pushing. And what I said was, someone asked me, how long will you do this? I said, we just made a collective bargaining agreement for 10 years with a 6-year reopener. I will not be here for the reopener. Whether we reopen or we don't reopen, someone else is going to be deciding to do that.
Gives you a lot of leeway. Thank you.
I need it.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Much appreciated. We are coming back with the second half shortly. Miami with a 1-point lead at halftime. Kevin Durant 6 for 10 in the first half and 13 points. Thunder down, though, just one at the break.
The State Farm Halftime Report, brought to you by State Farm. For auto, home, life, and banking, get to a better state.